39 minutes after Jeffrey Epstein is found dead,
Epstein was found dead in his jail cell in New York on Saturday.
the richest woman you've never heard of picks up her phone. She calls her lawyers. The call lasts 47 minutes. Years later, a paralegal who was on that call testifies under oath. She wasn't crying. She wasn't asking what happened. She kept asking, what documents did he have? What can they trace back to us? Her name is Ariane de Rothschild. Her family has controlled one of the largest fortunes in human history for 250 years. Forbes estimates $500 billion. Some say $100 trillion. The truth? Nobody knows. Now here's what makes this insane. In 2008, Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of soliciting prostitution from a minor. 5 years later, in 2013, the Rothschilds hired him. They hired a convicted sex offender to manage billions of dollars. So when he died, and she made that panic call, what was she protecting? Documents about money hidden offshore? Or was it something her family learned 80 years ago? A lesson so dangerous they'd hire a convicted pedophile to protect it. To understand what she was protecting in 2019, you need to understand what her family learned. And that lesson began 250 years earlier, 1744, Frankfurt, Germany, the Jewish ghetto, where the Rothschild story begins. 1774, Meyer Amschel Rothschild was born in Frankfurt's Jewish ghetto. Jews are locked in at night. They can't own property. They're banned from most professions. So Meyer learns to deal in the one thing they're allowed to trade, money. And Meyer learns something the rich already know. Money isn't just currency. Money is information. Who's buying what? Who's selling? Who needs cash? Who's desperate? Information is worth more than the coins themselves. 1769, Meyer gets his breakthrough. Prince William of Hesse needs someone to manage his money, and he chooses Meyer, makes him court factor, official banker to royalty. Now Meyer has access to real money, the kind of money that comes from renting soldiers to fight wars. Blood money, but money. Meyer sends his 5 sons to 5 cities: Frankfurt, London, Paris, Vienna, Naples. And they built something no one's ever built before, a private messenger network faster than any government. Information flows between them before kings and generals even know what's happening. June 18, 1815, Waterloo, Napoleon versus Wellington. The Rothschild messenger watches the battle, and the moment Wellington wins, he rides. He gets to London a full day before the official British courier. Nathan Rothschild walks onto the London Stock Exchange floor. Everyone watches. He starts selling British bonds. Massively, everyone panics. If Nathan is selling, Britain must have lost. So they all sell. The market crashes, except Nathan is buying everything at the bottom, because he knows Britain won. Hours later, the official news arrives. Wellington won. The market explodes upward. Nathan Rothschild just made 20 million euros, billions in today's money, from a single trade. The message is clear. Don't bet against the Rothschilds. They know things before governments do. By the 1820s, the Rothschilds were the bankers to kings. Britain borrows from them, France borrows from them, Austria borrows from them. In 1875, when Britain's prime minister needed 4 million euros immediately to buy the Suez Canal, Lionel Rothschild provided it within hours. No paperwork, just a handshake. Britain secures one of the most strategic waterways in the world because the Rothschilds said yes. They built 41 palaces across Europe, filled with Rembrandt, Vermeer, and Rubens, the greatest art collections in private hands. In 1885, Queen Victoria writes in her diary, "One can hardly say no to them. The Queen of England can't say no to the Rothschilds." By 1900, they're not just wealthy. They're not just a bank. They're an institution, a force that operates above governments. When they say yes, projects happen. When they say no, they don't. Then 1914. World War I begins, and everything the Rothschilds built over 150 years is about to be tested. What they're about to learn will change how they operate forever. World War I tears them apart. The 5 banks that operated as one family are now in countries at war with each other. French Rothschilds versus Austrian Rothschilds. The Vienna Bank suffers immediately, and the Austrian Empire collapses. The Naples Bank closes permanently. Frankfurt survives, but barely. London and Paris make it through, but they're damaged. The family that seemed invincible just learned they're not. 1933, Hitler became chancellor. The Nazis have special hatred for the Rothschilds, Jewish bankers who got rich off Germany. Hitler mentions them by name in speeches. In March 1938, Germany annexed Austria. Nazi troops go straight to the Rothschild Palace in Vienna. Louis de Rothschild is arrested, held for over a year. The deal? Give us everything. The bank, the art, the palace, the businesses, all of it, and we'll let you leave. Louis signs. Loses everything his family built in Austria over 150 years, then flees to America with nothing but his life. In Frankfurt, where Meyer started everything, the Nazis seized the bank in 1939. Then in 1944, Allied bombs destroyed the building completely. Gone. In Paris, when Germany occupied France in 1940, Edouard de Rothschild fled just in time. The Nazis loot everything. Hermann Göring, the second most powerful Nazi, personally selected pieces from the Rothschild art collection for himself. The greatest private art collection in Europe. Stolen. When the war ends, the survivors return to see what's left. The palaces are empty, looted. Some were destroyed beyond repair. The art? Most of it's gone. Vienna never reopens. Frankfurt is rubble. Only Paris and London remain. 2 branches, out of 5. And the Rothschilds learn a lesson they will never forget. Being visible, being famous, being obviously wealthy. That's what led the Nazis to find everything. That's what killed them. Visibility equals death. After the war, when they rebuild, they do it differently. No names on buildings. Everything is hidden behind layers. Holding companies, owning trusts, owning foundations, owning assets. So many layers that even governments can't trace it. Today, they barely appear on Forbes' rich lists. That's not because they're poor, it's because they learned visibility kills. Ariane wasn't born a Rothschild. Born Ariane Langner in 1965 to an upper-middle-class family. Her father worked in pharmaceuticals. She grew up internationally, studied business in Paris and New York, worked her way up in banking. Smart, really smart. In 1993, she met Benjamin de Rothschild at a business conference. He's running part of the family empire. They got married in 1999. Small private ceremony, no media. That's how the Rothschilds do things now. Ariane joins the family business and learns fast. The discretion, the systems for hiding wealth, the way they avoid attention while managing billions. In 2015, Benjamin became the CEO. This is unusual. Rothschilds typically keep control within blood relatives, but he trusts her completely. She's ruthless, fires underperformers, modernizes everything. The bank grows. Then January 2021, Benjamin dies, heart attack. He's only 57. Ariane is composed at the funeral. Within days, she's back at work, consolidating power, pushing out anyone who questions her. Summer 2013, Chateau de Prigny, the Rothschild estate in Geneva, small private dinner, maybe 15 people. Ultra wealthy, ultra private, the kind of people who pay to stay unknown. Ariane and Benjamin are hosting, normal evening, until someone new arrives, Jeffrey Epstein, invited by another guest, introduced as a financial advisor from New York. They talk. It's a long conversation, longer than the polite small talk Ariane usually does. Later, a guest recalls seeing them deep in discussion for nearly an hour. But here's what's interesting. 5 years earlier, in 2008, Jeffrey Epstein was convicted, soliciting prostitution from a minor. Served 13 months, registered sex offender. This is public record. Anyone Googling his name would find it immediately. So what could Epstein offer? Technical expertise in offshore banking, political connections in Washington, Israel, and Europe. But most valuable, he could provide advanced intelligence. When tax laws are changing, when enforcement priorities are shifting, when treaties are being signed, information before it's public. But the real value? He was permanently compromised. The conviction meant he could never expose them without destroying himself. Mutually assured destruction. He knows their secrets. They know his. Perfect. The relationship lasts 6 years, 2013 to 2019. Monthly meetings. In October 2015, they formalize it. A $25 million contract. For what? Risk analysis and algorithm-related services, which is code for helping us predict regulatory changes and stay ahead of them. And it works. In 2017, when Epstein oversees the movement of $4.7 billion from Swiss accounts to Singapore, right before a new tax treaty takes effect. Perfect timing. How did they know exactly when to move it? Epstein's connections. He had people who told him when regulations were coming for 6 years. The system works perfectly. Money moves. Always ahead of regulators. Always just barely legal. Everything discreet. Everything professional. Until February 2026, when new documents leak and they reveal something nobody expected.
We are producing more than 3 million pages, 2,000 videos, 180,000 images.
February 2026. The U.S. Department of Justice releases more Epstein files, and buried in them are emails, dozens of them, between Jeffrey and Ariane. March 19, 2019, 4 months before his arrest. Epstein writes, "I'm in Paris." She responds, "Are you really? I'm here as well." "And when would you be free?" He replies, "It's been much, much too long." They arrange to meet the next day. The emails reveal a pattern. Multiple meetings at his homes, his Manhattan townhouse, his Paris apartment, not offices, private residences. At one point, he invites her to stay at his apartment. It would be private, no one the wiser. She declines but adds, "B was a disaster and I'm tired of handling him." B. Benjamin, her husband. She's complaining about her husband to Jeffrey Epstein. In 2016, Epstein's assistant arranges to return a hoverboard to Ariane's daughter. He's interacting with her family, her children. In 2018, when there's a dispute within the Rothschild family over control of the name, Epstein mediates. A convicted sex offender is mediating disputes within one of the world's wealthiest families. Yes, he's not just an advisor, he's practically family. July 6, 2019. FBI agents arrest Jeffrey Epstein the moment his plane lands from Paris. Federal charges, sex trafficking, conspiracy. This is 45 years in prison.
The businessman with ties to 2 U.S. presidents may appear in court today to face federal charges linked to alleged sex trafficking. 66-year-old Jeffrey Epstein was arrested Saturday in New Jersey after returning from Paris on his private jet.
Billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein has been arrested,
charged with sex trafficking involving underage girls.
He could face up to 45 years behind bars.
They hold him at the Metropolitan Correctional Center. No bail, and the world is watching. In Geneva, Ariane hears the news within hours, and she immediately understands what's changed. Before, Epstein was compromised, couldn't expose them without destroying himself. But now he's facing life in prison, which means he has every reason to cooperate, to trade their secrets for a reduced sentence. The tool just became a threat August 9th, 2019, night before his death. Epstein asked to make a phone call, says he's calling his mother. His mother died in 2004. The guard doesn't check. They let him call from the shower area. Aren't unmonitored, against policy. 15 minutes. He actually called his girlfriend in Belarus. What was said, nobody knows. Guards are supposed to check every 30 minutes. They don't. They falsify logs. Cameras are broken or off. Whatever happened that night happened unwatched. 7:36 a.m., guards finally check. Jeffrey Epstein is hanging in his cell. They panic, try to revive him. Paramedics arrive. He's pronounced dead. The news spreads within minutes.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein has taken his own life.
Jeffrey Epstein has died by suicide.
And 39 minutes later, Geneva, 8:15 a.m., 39 minutes after his body was found, Ariane picks up her phone, calls her lawyers. 47 minutes, not crying, not asking what happened. Just, what documents did he have? What can they connect back to us? Now we understand the question. What was she protecting? She was protecting both. The financial secrets, billions moved offshore, tax strategies that pushed legal boundaries, but also the personal relationship, The intimate friendship with a convicted pedophile, the meetings at his homes, the complaints about her husband, the family integration, both would destroy her. Both would invite investigation. She was hiding both. For 6 years after his death, nothing. The connection stays hidden. Then January 2026, a reporter receives a package, anonymous, USB drive, 47 pages of documents. She verifies everything. 3 weeks. It's all real. The story breaks. The Rothschild family's response? Silence, no statement, no denial. With a bank issues one line, "We don't comment on private client relationships." Ariane disappears from public view entirely, but the silence says everything. So this is the story, 250 years. From a ghetto in Frankfurt to controlling unimaginable wealth. The Nazis taught them visibility equals death, so they hid everything. And when they needed someone to help them stay hidden, they hired the perfect person. Someone who specialized in secrets. Someone with connections to warn them when laws were changing. Someone who could never expose them because he was permanently compromised. Today, the Ariane de Rothschild group is still operating, still managing over $230 billion. Ariane is still in control. The Epstein leak damaged their reputation, but it didn't destroy them. But there are 244 more years we'll never know about. This is the story of the richest family you've never heard of. Who learned visibility kills? Who hired a convicted pedophile because he was the perfect tool for staying invisible? And when he died, the first question wasn't grief. It was damage control. What else are they hiding? What other secrets are worth that much? And who else is helping them hide? This is Mr. Pivot, where we uncover the untold stories of wealth, power, and the decisions that build empires. Every fortune has a story. We tell the ones you've never heard. Subscribe to Mr. Pivot